Welcome back. You're still watching Nedbank Business Watch. We're getting into our markets update, and we do have Toba in studio. He's the Treasury Sales Manager under the Treasury Sales Department with Nedbank. Toba, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the program. Today I want us to start by looking at the foreign exchange. I believe we do have our graphic ready. The USD SZL up by 0.35%, currently trading at, what is this, 17.9, if you will, while the Euro SZL has gained 0.25%, again standing at 19.7. On the other hand, we do see the GBP SZL slightly dipped by 0.003%. I just wonder, with the rand facing mixed reactions against major currencies, what key factors are driving these movements?
Right, thank you, Swiso, and good afternoon to your viewers as well. So yesterday, we saw the rand weaken to about 18. So South Africa released their second quarter GDP numbers, which showed that the South African economy grew by 0.4%, and that was lower than what market was expecting. Market was expecting 0.5%. So that is what we are seeing. But today, rather, we've seen the rand gain a bit of strength, as you've mentioned, that it has gained a bit of strength against the euro and the dollar. So it's just sentiments mainly, and on both sides, because also in the US, there's quite a lot of information or a lot of data that is coming out that is unfavorable. So there's a bit of weakness on both sides. You've indicated 17.91 on the against the USD, 19.79 against the euro, and 23.49 against the pound. So it's mostly, it was driven by the GDP numbers that came out yesterday.
Really, really interesting. And I suppose from what you've just told us, businesses in Eswatini should at least know how to navigate this forex landscape. I want us to look into commodities now. I'm seeing here that gold is holding steady, inching up by 0.12%. That's per ounce, by the way, while Brent crude oil has slipped by 0.53%. I wonder, in a global market marked by fluctuating commodity prices, the question I suppose then becomes, how should investors position themselves to at least mitigate risks and capitalize on potential gains in this uncertain environment?
All right, so as you have mentioned, gold is up at 0.12%, trading at 2,495.80 per ounce. So gold is a safe haven metal for investors that are risk averse. So I've mentioned that the US economy is showing signs of weakening. Yesterday, the Institute of Supply Management released a report on manufacturing, and it showed that manufacturing shrinked in the US. So then investors then look at safer options to put their money. So gold then becomes an option. So that's why the price of gold has ticked up. And then from a Brent crude perspective, so oil is down. It's all about supply when it comes to oil. With the US economy sluggish, as well as the China economy, then that means there is less demand for oil, and that then pushes the price down. But as well, we also got a report that Libyan supplies may be restored. The conflict between the two factions and government there is sort of coming to a close. So that means more or the supply from Libya will be restored. So all of that is then weighing down on the price of crude oil, because it means more supply in the market with the limited demand that we're seeing.
And might see the less prices for oil, I suppose, which could be really good for vehicle owners. Equities, market has seen significant declines, with S&P 500 down by 2.12%, FTSE 100 by 0.78%, JSE All-Share Index by 1.9%. Really, really interesting. With these major indices taking a hit, what does a signal perhaps for investors? What does this signal for investors? That's the first question, particularly those with exposure to these markets.
So it ties back to the sluggish economy in the US. So with the numbers that are coming out, so the fundamentals that are coming out, showing that the economy is slowing down, then investors are sort of not putting their money into riskier assets. So as you've mentioned, all the indices are down.
Yeah.
The S&P 500 significantly down 2.12% at $5.5. What is driving that? Well, the significant driver there was Nvidia, the leading chip manufacturer in the US, which dropped 10% yesterday, shedding about 300 billion
Wow.
of its value.
Tech.
That was due to the sentiments in the market. It was also due to their growth forecast. So they released their growth forecast, and they showed that even though they are growing, but their growth is going to be limited going forward. So then that resulted in that decline. The FTSE also down 0.78% at 8.2 thousand pounds. Leaders there were mostly on service. I think which then speaks to just the economy being slow and consumers also just struggling to make end meets there. So it is a red day for equities today.
Yeah, a sign of broader economic challenges, one would say.
Yeah.
But perhaps just a quick answer on this one question. Could there be an opportunity amidst this downturn?
Definitely. I'll probably point to currencies mostly. As a country, we are a country that is a net importer, but we also do have exporters. We export sugar, we export citrus, and all of that. So if the rand is weakening, so if you are getting more emalangeni for rands, then it means you are getting more money for exports.
Makes sense.
So it depends on which side of the coin you are on, but there are definitely opportunities.
Really, really interesting field economics are. You have to be smart on how you move. It's like playing chess, really. Thanks so much for Toba. Invaluable insights from the Treasury Sales Manager from the Nedbank Eswatini. Thank you for staying with us.
Make better money choices. Choose a bank that takes your money seriously. Business Watch was brought to you by